Welcome to another edition of the Nate Moore Show. On the air with you every Wednesday night. Our show is brought to you each week by Reliable Heating and Cooling. I'm your host, Darian Washington, and along with me is Coach Moore. Coach, welcome to the show.
It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yep. Last Friday night, the Tigers beat Youngstown Ursuline 42-13. How would you summarize the team's performance?
Well, it was a good ball game for us. Our kids played well. Ursuline was doing some things to take away our running game, and we needed our passing game to really step up to be effective, and that's what happened. Our quarterback, Aiden Longwell, played well. Our receivers caught the ball well. Austin Kutcher, Trayvon Morgan, Adric Ford had a touchdown. Anthony Ballard had a big reception. So those guys played well. The offensive line protected, and we got enough stops on defense, so it was a good game for us.
Did Ursuline show any new wrinkles, either on offense or defense, that maybe you weren't expecting?
Defensively, yeah, they had a unique plan to load the box against us, and with as much as we run the football, that's kind of a thing that we have to figure out week to week, how people are going to defend us, because you probably aren't going to be able to just sit in your base defense and stop the run against us. So, so it's figuring out, what the defense is doing to, try to take away what we do well, and then we have to find a way to maximize what the defense is giving us as a result.
Which team units did you feel played well against the Fighting Irish?
Well, our offensive line protected well. I really think that. And I really feel like, our receivers caught the ball very well, ran great routes. You're really happy to see that output out of those guys.
Injury-wise, how did your team come out of this game?
Overall, well, we had a couple guys get dinged up there at the end, but, we'll get those guys evaluated here this week and see who's available and who's not. But, regardless, it's the next man in. If they're not able to go, then the next guy's got to step in and do the job.
In a moment, we'll meet with a Tiger player and hear more from Coach Moore. But first, this word from Reliable Heating and Cooling.
Everything that goes into a Lennox system is engineered for absolute comfort. Like the parts that create your perfect temperature and humidity, or the parts that purify the air. Together, all these parts save you up to half off your heating and cooling bills. And there are few things more comforting than that.
The future of home comfort is here now at Reliable Heating and Cooling. Get the latest innovation and technology at Reliable.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Thank you, Reliable Heating and Cooling. Joining Coach Moore and I is Anthony Ballard. Anthony, what position do you play?
Corner and receiver.
How old were you when you started playing football?
4th grade.
Who is your position coach, and tell us more about him?
Coach Roddy. He's a good guy.
What would you say are your personal strengths?
Covering guys and tackling.
How about some areas where you need to improve your game?
Getting off blocks.
As a cornerback, give us a scouting report on Bedford's offense.
They got a pretty good running back. They got a couple of D1 guys. Their receiver is pretty fast, so we don't really. If we can stop those couple of things, then we'll win the game.
Coach Moore, your Tigers are home again this week to face Bedford. The Bearcats are new to the Tiger schedule. What can you tell us about their school and their football program?
Well, as a football program, they're 4-0. They have not played the toughest schedule, but they've taken care of business, the way you would expect a good team to take care of business. They have a senior quarterback who distributes the ball well. They have a very good crop of skill position players. Their running back is very good, maybe the best that we've seen this year. They have a very good receiver. And really, to a man at the skill positions, they're very good. and they have some linemen on either side of the ball that are good players. This team's 4-0 for a reason. They're very fast. Like I said, they have a lot of skill. We're going to have to play well.
What can you tell us about their season so far?
Well, they're 4-0. They beat Nordonia week 1. They beat Garfield Heights. They beat Elyria. And they beat Copley this past week. So they're on a roll.
Tell us more about the Bedford offense.
They are under center I formation, which is a lot different than what you see typically these days. And they'll get in several different formations as well. That's what they do most of the time, but they'll be a double tight under center. They'll go shotgun some, but they'll even go 2x2 spread and be under center, which, like I said, is a little different. A lot of two-man routes, a lot of play action down the field, with their running back, and they feature him a lot. Even running lead draw to him on third and long situations. So it's a different offense than you typically see these days, but they do a very good job.
How about the Bearcats' defense?
Defensively, they're an even front. They play a lot of man coverage. Some loose quarters coverage. The linebackers are very good. The number 11, the running back, who's very good, also plays weak side linebacker. Their fullback also plays Mike linebacker. So they have a handful of two-way guys. Their defensive backfield is as good as we've seen this year. Both corners are very good. So they present a tall order for the Tigers.
And finally, what do you see as the keys for a Tiger win against Bedford this Friday night?
I think we really need to establish ourselves up front. We need to be able to run the football, and we need to be able to stop the run, without a doubt, defensively. Like I said, they have a very good running back, and if we can force them to throw the ball, even though they have good receivers as well, I think that's advantage to us. And we've done very good in the turnover category thus far. So we need to continue to do a good job with that, and be advantageous on defense, but on offense, protect the ball, take care of the ball, and those three things will present us an opportunity for victory.
We want to thank Coach Moore and Anthony Ballard for joining us on this show today. Our show is brought to you each week by Reliable Heating and Cooling. I'm your host, Darren Washington. Stay with us. Coming up next is Swing, featuring Tiger Swing Band Director Jason Neel. Thanks for watching, and go Tigers.
Greatest tradition of high school football rivalry is McKinley-Massillon.
There's an amazing history of tradition.
Both sides take it seriously.
Both Canton and Massillon embrace football being important.
Football is Massillon.
Canton is football.
What football means to the area, it's really the founding of the game.
Hi everybody, my name is Gunnar Reese. And 4 months after I graduated from Massillon Washington High School in 2015, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. We recognize that this affects the Massillon community in a big way. To learn more about how you can do your part to help fight this disease, please visit our Facebook page at BreastFest 2017. Thank you, and stay blessed.
Massillon City Schools is proud to have one of the top career technical education programs in the state of Ohio, recently receiving a #1 ranking of the 93 districts in the area of achievement. Our Career Technical Education Department offers 14 pathways preparing students for college and careers. All students have the opportunity to participate and compete in their career technical student organization, as well as obtain valuable experience in the field while earning aligned industry credentials and/or college credit in high school. Visit massillonschools.org for more information.
Welcome to another edition of Swing with your Tiger Swing Band Director, Jason Neel. We're on the air every Wednesday night following the Nate Moore Show. Our show is brought to you by Howard's Tire Rags in downtown Massillon. I'm your host, Keyshawn Dorsey, here with Jason Neel. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Keyshawn.
So, your band performed at the Youngstown Ursuline game last Friday night. Can you tell us about that performance?
Well, we were fairly pleased with our performance last Friday. Had a good pregame show, and we had our 7th and 8th grade band members join us for halftime, which I thought went over real well, and got a good response from the crowd. I think that the crowd recognizes that these kids are the future of the Massillon band, and they want to encourage them to continue on with it and carry on the tradition in the future. So I was real pleased with how the crowd reacted to the show. And we were very happy with our 7th and 8th grade band members. Obviously the high school band members did a great job in leading those younger members through the halftime, and we had a good time at the game. I think all the kids had enjoyed themselves, so I thought it was a good night overall.
Yep, it looked like a lot of fun. Our entire swing band review is Saturday night, September 23rd, at the stadium. We've mentioned the show several times. Is there any way you could tell us the details again?
Sure. Like you said, it's coming up Saturday, September 23rd. We're going to have 8 visiting bands from area high schools. We have some from even the Columbus area. And then we have our alumni band, which will be rehearsing at 2 o'clock that day. And then they perform right after intermission for the show. It's the 60th anniversary of our Tiger Band Review, so that's kind of a special number. And then people can get tickets at the gate. We don't sell any pre-sale tickets. Mm-hmm. There's $6 for adults and $4 for seniors and students. And children 12 and under are free. And the gates will open at 5:30 p.m., so I encourage people to come and get their tickets right before the show and find a good seat. It's all general admission. But we're looking for some good weather and a great night. Should be a lot of good bands performing. Should be a great band show.
Yep. How important is it for you to have your band witness other bands perform?
Well, I think that's crucial, actually, because we can get in our own little bubble here in Massillon and only concern ourselves with what we're doing, which makes sense. But when you see what other bands do, there's different styles, there's different sizes, different schools. Not everybody does marching band the same way. In fact, last week we went to the Jackson Band show, and it was really good for our kids to see other schools. We also got to see the Iowa State University Marching Band, and we had a lot of kids really enjoy that performance. So each band is unique, and we include ourselves in that. We don't go try to be someone else. We just try to be the best Massillon Tiger swing band that we can be, and we really appreciate all the hard work that other schools put into their bands, because we know, our students know what it takes to put a show on the field. So I was really proud of our kids the other night. We were really applauding and encouraging the other bands. So I think it's a great experience. It's a good learning tool to see how other people do things. And I think ultimately it makes us better, because we want to do our best when you see somebody else do something, and makes you want to go out there and do your best.
All right. And now let's take a word from Howard's Tiger Rags.
Howard's Tiger Rags in downtown Massillon has the best selection of tiger apparel in the area. And this year, Howard's Tiger Rags is the proud sponsor of the Swing TV show on WHS-TV. Get the latest football t-shirts available in short and long sleeves, along with great-looking hoodies. And don't forget about their infant and toddler apparel. See their large selection of memorabilia, along with mugs and glasses. Need a tiger hat? Howard's has dozens. And see their prom apparel as well. Stop in at Howard's Tiger Rags in downtown Massillon and like them on Facebook.
Thank you, Howard's Tiger Rags. So, the majorettes are an important part of the swing band. Tell us more about the process of selecting and trying out for them.
Well, our majorettes are under the direction of Gina Doherty. She's our majorette advisor, and she's been doing that for longer than I've been here. And we have 6 ladies that we have on our majorette line this year. Just to name them, we have Caroline Smith, Melissa Bamba are our squad leaders. We have Diamond Haverstock, Katie Snodgrass, Riley Cecil, and Jenna Ramsey. And they all tried out back in April. And, you know, to be a majorette, you have to study privately. You have to, you know, really be working on your craft for a long time. You don't just show up to tryouts and kind of make it. So these ladies have put in a lot of work, and, you know, they take baton classes and things like that to get themselves ready for that. And each April we have tryouts. And, you know, we only take a certain number. We usually take up to 8. This year we have 6 majorettes. And, you know, those ladies are doing a good job. And you're right, they are a very important part of our swing band. And they actually all are also band members. They all play instruments in class and in the concert band. So you can't just be a majorette in Massillon, you got to be a member of the band.
All right, so I've seen other bands have flags or dancers. Have you ever thought of incorporating any of these elements into our band?
Well, like I said a little bit ago, that, you know, every band has their own style and every band has their own way of doing marching band. I've never considered that here because of the tradition of Massillon. You know, we've had, our auxiliary unit is basically, we have Obie the Tiger, our mascot, we have a drum major, and we have majorettes. Adding a flag line or a dance line or something like that would not keep it with the tradition of what Massillon band has become. And so I've never considered that. And, you know, there's other schools that do that. That's fine for them, but I just don't think that's who we are, and so no, not really.
And finally, what can we expect from the halftime show during the Bedford game?
Well, this week's halftime, I think, is an actually very special show. I've had an idea for this show for a number of years now, and just kind of been waiting for the right, well, I'll say the right plot, because our theme this week is called Story Time with the Swing Band. And we're going to use 11 different songs in our halftime show, and we're going to use the music of those songs to tell a story. And I don't want to give the story away, and if I tell you what music we're going to play, it's going to, it would possibly give that away. So I think there's a lot of cool things we're going to do with this show. We've got extras and props, and it's going to be a really neat show, and that's all I'm going to tell you. So we're calling this Story Time with the Swing Band, and people are not going to want to miss this show. We're going to do it Friday night at our football game, and we're going to do it also Saturday night at the band show. So a couple opportunities to see this show. People might even want to see it more than once.
All right, sounds very interesting. We'd like to thank Mr. Neel, the director of the Swing Band, for being with us on this week of Swing. Our show is sponsored by Howard's Tiger Rags in downtown Massillon. Be sure to tune in every weekday following The Nate Moore Show. I'm your host, Keyshawn Dorsey. Thanks for watching.